Girls. It is completely down. Like, literally not up anywhere. Damn birds.
Go pee on that. Hi, pretty girl. So here's the deal. As expected, because I've done this once before and didn't think about a better process prior to trying to do it a second time. The staples are ripping the plastic. So if I move it ever so slightly, it just rips right off the staple. Which is not what you want. But the staples are pretty much just punching through the plastic, rendering them completely useless, and I can't get very far before it rips down. So what I need, I don't know what they're called, but I basically need nails that have like plastic washers on them, and that should give me like an anchor point to hold it up, and then also the washer will help it from just ripping off. Which means I gotta go to Menards again. So, yeah, I think it's just the literal definition of stupidity to continue doing it this way, because it's just not gonna hold up. And then, you know, it's gonna be like December and I'm gonna have to redo this because the chickens ripped it down again. Although, I am gonna give them another roosting bar, so hopefully that solves the issues. Basically what's going on is Loretta, the mother that raised these new chickens, once they got to a certain age, she was done with them. Like, she went from being their mother to just being another bitch in the flock. And she will not let anybody share the roosting bar with her. And I didn't realize that was what was going on. But I noticed that the new chickens hadn't been roosting where they were supposed to. And so I would like come out here at night and move them. And then I'd come out in the morning and the same thing, they're just like in a random spot and it's only Loretta up there. So yeah, she's been really rude to them. So I'm gonna get a second roosting bar in here somehow, somewhere, and hopefully that fixes the issue. So I just got home from Menards. So I have been a Mariners fan living in Nebraska for about 12 years now. I picked them one day out of the blue, not out of the blue. I wanted, / still want to, move to Washington State. And I don't know what it was about Washington. That was the first time in my life that I really felt like I want a sports team. There's something about Seattle sports that it just calls to your soul. So, you know, I don't really care about football. I gotta be honest, even living in Husker Nation, I genuinely don't care about football, but there's something about America's pastime that also speaks to me. So I picked baseball, and by default, that's the Seattle Mariners if you're looking at Washington teams to support. So yeah, ever since then, it's been the Seattle Mariners. And, you know, we had a good year this year. We had a really good year. To be so close to the World Series is just, I mean, unreal. And I feel so bad for the boys that those images of Cal Raleigh with his poor eyeballs all red just breaks my heart. I wanted it so bad for them and for us, but, you know, it wasn't meant to be this year, I guess. So we'll get them next year. But, last Sunday I was at Costco and the parking spot next to me was empty as I was loading my stuff into my car, and another Subaru Forester pulled up. And it's this beautiful man, literally could not have scripted a more to a T man for my type. And he was wearing a Seattle Mariners. I saw the Northwest green first, and then I saw him. But he was just so beautiful, and I've never seen another Seattle Mariners fan in Nebraska. Never. And it's not that I wasn't looking before. I constantly wear Seattle Mariners stuff. I shouldn't say constantly. I only have like 3 t-shirts, but I cycle through them a lot. They're my favorites. So, you know, I've never ever seen a Seattle Mariners fan in Nebraska besides me. And, to see this guy, he was just an anomaly. And I was like, oh my God. And so I said, hell yeah, go Seattle. And he said, damn right, you know, small talk, whatever. And that was it. And, you know, I've been in love with him ever since. But I was just at Menards, and there was another guy, a different guy wearing a Seattle Mariners hat. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? That other guy, his hat was like brand new, not a spot of dirt on it, which like maybe he just takes care of it, but you know, can't relate. My hats get worn out. But this guy was wearing the playoffs hat, and I'm just like, 2 brand new hats. It's giving bandwagon. I'm not gonna get territorial and pee all over the team or anything, but I just don't feel like you've been in the trenches like I've been in the trenches. And the thing that I'm also thinking about is they probably think I'm the bandwagon fan because I'm a woman. So I don't know. I just don't like this energy. Maybe Seattle fans are just coming out of the woodwork because we had a good year, but if you're not repping them in the bad seasons, I don't want to see your face in the good ones. Damn. There you go. It's great. Hey y'all, just wanted to check in here. It is November 8th, and I got baby's first archery pins. So today I went for my first USA Archery adult program. My pins, I did my first pin shoot, and I was only thinking I was coming home with the green one, and I came home with two. I stayed and did a second one. So, yeah, today feels a little bit like a movie. I don't really know what else to say about it because I feel like I've been like giggly. I was terrified. Like spent most of the day before the shoot a little bit paralyzed with anxiety. But I kind of get that way with like any plans. Like I don't really want to do much of anything because at some point I'm going to have to start getting ready for these plans, and then I just like basically do nothing with my day like ahead of any kind of event, particularly like on a Saturday. But you know, I knew this pin shoot was coming up. I was really nervous for a lot of reasons, and I was just kind of like debilitated by that anxiety. But, you know, obviously I powered through it. I had no choice. I didn't think anybody was going to be there that I knew. So I thought that I was going to be doing like this competition for the first time by myself and like be a total noob and not know how to do anything. And of course it wasn't anything like that because I've been to this place and they don't ever have that vibe ever. So yeah, it ended up being like all of the girls that I normally shoot with, and especially my coach, and a lot of other people came in to do the shoot, and it was really, really fun. My best friend came and watched me for the second shoot. I scored 222 on both shoots, which was crazy. I got a lot of 23s, which 23 is my lucky number. Let me stop my cat. Anyways, so yeah, I scored 222 on both rounds that I did. I got a lot of 23s on ends, which, you know, it wasn't my best shooting. I don't feel it was enough for me to get 2 pins. So that's, you know, really all I needed. And I got I secured my first pin within like the first 5 ends. That one I had to get 120 points. So I think I can actually go pick up my scorecard. So for the first round, I had my score, I had to get 125. I had that by the 6th end. I had 139 at the end of that one. And then round 2, I had to have 150, I believe. I didn't write it on this one, but I had that by end 7. I had 162 for my running total. So, you know, to like do my first 2 pin shoots, one of them being completely unintentional, but for doing my first 2 pin shoots and having some room to work with, it's hard to be like really upset with this like, you know, how I achieved this victory, because I've only been doing archery since August, and yeah, I'm I'm thrilled. Today has felt like a movie. And afterwards, because my best friend came and watched me, which was like so, yeah, that was really special. I don't really know how to explain that. It's just like, it's just one of those days that just makes you feel glad to be alive. My best friend came to watch me, and she took some video of me, so I have proof. I mean, besides like, I didn't just like steal that lanyard with the pins from somebody. I actually shot that myself because I've been saying, you know, I'm doing archery, and I have no proof of that because I don't take any videos or anything while I'm there. Not that I couldn't. They would totally be down for that. I mean, they were literally taking videos and stuff during the pin shoot, but I just like, that's not what I'm there for, you know. Obviously I want to share these things, but I want I want to be good at my craft first and share it second, if that makes sense. Like, I'm very internally driven about this, and so yes, all I want to do is talk about archery all day long, but it's because I love it and like I want to do it. And so when I'm there, like, my purpose is to focus on what I'm doing and to make friends with the people that are there. But it's like, you know, my focus is like being a member of the archery community at that time, not being a YouTuber. And I love being able to have shit archery nights and not take my target home and not tell anybody about it, you know? So, yeah, archery is kind of my life right now, which I did sort of expect, because I've been writing about doing it for a really long time, so there was something about it that was calling to me in some way. So yeah, I'm glad I finally took a stab at it, and poor range, they cannot get rid of me. But I'm having an absolute fucking blast in my life. You know, with all the shit going on, I've chosen to live despite that. So I'm really, really just overall thrilled. But I don't think I've ever finished my initial thought. After the pin shoot, after I got both of my pins, me and my best friend went to a little local like pizza joint that I had never been to before, and we watched the Husker game. Well, in theory, I just talked about, you know, my exciting night with my best friend all night, and we drank and we ate pizza, and yeah, I mean, I just, there aren't really words. I mean, should have sent a poet or something, but I feel absolutely thrilled with my life. I hope that doesn't sound boastful to say or anything, but God, I just fucking love archery. I wish I had something more eloquent to say than that, but I don't. That's just how I feel. And baby's got her first 2 pins, and now I gotta start all over again, because that was with compound, and I'm switching back to recurve. Hey y'all, long time no see. Well, it's actually only been a week, but yeah, life's been busy lately. We had a beautiful Northern Lights show last night that I did not expect was coming. I was outside doing my normal stargazing, and in the northeast corner of the sky that I could see, it just looked like really red and pink. And I was like, don't know anything in that direction that would put off any kind of light pollution like that vibrantly red. And so my gut instinct was immediately, it's the Northern Lights. And so I texted everybody. I was like, I think I see the Northern Lights. And I Googled it. And sure enough, we were supposed to be able to see it. And that's what it ended up being. It's the best Northern Lights show I've ever seen here before. Which to say that we can see the Northern Lights in Lincoln, Nebraska is crazy. Like, absolutely beautiful, well appreciated gift. I will never, ever, ever get tired of seeing them. I almost slept outside last night, but they calmed down. I stayed out for about 3 hours last night just watching them. And they calmed down around like 11 o'clock. So it was starting to get cold. I think it got down to 36 last night. And so I ended up coming inside. And then, of course, as I was inside, I kept peeking and they did start back up. And obviously, you know, they'll probably go through the entire night. But I knew tonight was going to be a much better night for seeing them. And it also coincides with a meteor shower. I am out there stargazing at least 3 times a week, and I very, very rarely ever see shooting stars or meteors or anything. And last night, right after I was like, I think that's the Auroras, I saw one to the west, and I was like, over the moon, no pun intended, over the moon about, you know, just the astronomy night that I was having. And then I ended up seeing a couple more. So it's nice to know that, you know, there's a reason for it. It wasn't just like this phenomenon, even though it was really cool in the moment to be like, oh my gosh, so much is happening. But yeah, we're supposed to be able to see the auroras much better tonight. So I think I'm going to head out to my parents' house. Just because they're out in the country, there's less light pollution. And so I would really like to see... I've only ever really seen them from my backyard, which is very light polluted here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna head out to my parents' house for a little bit. But anyways, we have a couple days of like mid 50s to like high 60s weather. And look what I haven't done as of November 12th. Plant my garlic. We've had a couple frosts at this point, and I still have not gotten this out. So I might be making a mistake by planting this now, but it's either now or never. So I'm going to run out there, and I'm going to plant this. Probably almost knocked over all my vases. I probably will record a bit, but yeah, I'm going to go plant my garlic in November because nothing I do is ever, ever on time with nature, but I'm very grateful that it is giving me a little grace here and giving me a few days for me to get my shit together and get my garlic planted. So we have garlic next year. It's been over a year since I didn't have a garlic harvest last year because we planted them in my mom's raised bed and they just froze over winter. There was not enough insulation. They didn't do well in the raised beds. So they're going in the ground at my house. And then hopefully I have a good ass garlic harvest next year.